Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gen Z Sanctum.
Why did you get so close to the microphone?
Sorry, because I wanted to make everyone hear me. Anyway, I'll back up a little bit there. This episode is a little interesting because again, my computer's a little piece of poopy and hates
like
the cable.
microphone.
Yeah, hates Nathan's cable that he uses for his microphone. So when we recorded, Nathan sounded like this the whole time.
Sounded like
It sounded like he was the fish from SpongeBob talking. So Braden's in the house tonight again. Say hello, Braden.
Hello.
And we are going to be talking about something interesting. But first of all, small talk. What? I don't know.
Was that like our intro to small talk?
So basically, small talk. Nathan, how you been?
It's been a week.
Wow, it's been a week? Wow, really? Since last episode? Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry. Continue.
Are you sure?
Continue.
I really had a boring week. Not really anything new for small talk.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds great.
I have a boring life.
Yeah.
I know that. I have a boring life. I know that.
You have a boring life. I have a non-hireable life, apparently, because guess what? Larry. I'm kidding. It's not. His name's not Larry.
All right, we're not gonna start the Larry thing again.
Larry Part 2.
Oh, okay,
I love that episode. No. So basically, the job that I had been interviewing for fell through. They said, we're moving forward with other applicants. So guess what? I now get to call them out by name, just like that one guy on Instagram who has bad problems with restaurants, calls out their secret recipe. Like, so, you know that guy who's like talks in the mirror or whatever, has a problem with the restaurant.
Oh,
like,
yeah, like
two scoops of blah, 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 blah. You know,
you know this one restaurant that hates me? I'm gonna leak their secret recipe.
Exactly. So, exactly. The one guy who's like, come here. This restaurant hates me, so I'm going to tell you their secret recipe. Has the book and opens it.
To be honest, you have to be very careful because if
Yeah.
the company figures that out,
yeah.
they can sue you for that.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful when you do
Thankfully, what I'm going to say is not trade secrets. It's just
that. It's just the
personal,
name of a company.
company name. So, the company that I had been interviewing for was Republic Airways.
Yeah, to be a pilot.
Not a pilot. No, I don't. My name's.
Bad things would happen if Nathaniel was a pilot.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
You've seen the War Thunder episode.
You've seen the War Thunder episode, yes. So you know exactly what would happen if I
That one War
became.
Thunder episode where Nathaniel just absolutely obliterates Evan. Just
Oh, hi, Evan. Boom.
Evan's escorting Brain in a bomber, and then Nathaniel's just like,
The one episode where Braden rage quits because I was flying next to him and I turned and he was right there and I couldn't see him.
Okay, so if Nathaniel was flying a plane and his Wi-Fi was... There was one time where Nathaniel was flying near me and his plane just glitches into me and explodes.
I was flying and it said, bad network connection. Boom, explosion. And you were like, I'm getting off. And you rage quit and you were like...
No, it was the incident before that.
Oh,
where I was
right, yeah.
flying into an area of mountains and then all of a sudden your plane was just like...
Boom, boom. And I just glitched straight into
I'm pretty
it.
sure I have that as a clip.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I have that.
You
too.
flew in like this.
In
you were going like this.
Oh, boom. Imagine if the Wi-Fi on the plane glitches. You just look up, you see a 747 just flying.
No, you had that 747
Yeah.
flying like that one bird that.
The one bird hits the windshield and the plane just.
No. It's the episode of the plane where it sees the bird and it starts flapping like the
Oh,
bird.
yeah. I've seen that, yeah. But no, so basically I applied for it. They called me the next day and was like, answer some basic questions and we'll get an interview set for you next week. Answered the questions, got a couple. Those are some really good answers. Came in the next week, did an interview. Things seemed to go well. And then Monday afternoon, they sent me an interview.
I will say at least they went forward and
they took us to an interview and they also called me.
I will say,
yeah.
When I was originally trying to get hired at Firestone, it was the same thing, but I went through 3 interviews
Yeah.
before they actually said, nah. So I went through my first interview, which was, a normal interview,
Yeah.
a phone call, like what you did.
Yeah,
Had to go through the whole, I'll set up a time, here's a location you're going to go to, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Then went from there. Then I went to that location, got an interview, and apparently I was told that Firestone is open on Sunday. I was like, okay, every single other automotive business, I don't care who it is, dealerships,
Most of them aren't
even
open.
Goodyear, Bell Tire, all those other companies are closed on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Firestone the only company that is open on Sunday?
Good question.
Because Sunday is technically, well, it's not technically, it is the Sabbath. Sunday is not a very busy day.
Most people are at home or at church,
Yeah.
so they're not even going to get business if they're open. So.
Yeah. I mean, they get business, obviously.
Well,
otherwise,
obviously,
they
yeah.
wouldn't be open on Sunday. But I was even going through all those interviews. Like, do I really want to work on Sunday? Because being religious,
Correct.
working on Sunday, I just get a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I
Exactly.
should not be working.
Right.
So
I'm less.
we got through
Yeah.
3 interviews. I was told from there, hey, I'll get you in contact with another place where I think you could go. I get in contact. I go there, which, funny enough,
Yeah.
is in the same complex as the postal service we get our trucks from.
Dang.
I did not figure that till
Oh
afterwards.
wow! Really?
So the way I figured it out is when I was taking a mail truck back,
Yep.
the entryway that we usually go, so it's a whole back road. You actually have to go looking for it because it's in a back alley somewhere.
Okay.
Most people don't know where it is.
Right.
And there was a semi truck dropping off an order, and I was like, well, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. And apparently you can loop around that Firestone
Oh.
that I got an interview at and go back down that road to get down there. I was like, that's the same Firestone where I got an interview at. And then anyway, after that, I waited a couple days, and then
They emailed you and
they technically didn't email me, but they never got in contact with me, which I took that as a, well, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about working on Sunday, and also screw you for wasting that much of my time to just say no.
exactly, or
Like,
just say nothing.
If you think that I am a good person to work, go forward with the interview. Don't go forward with my interview, then just cut me off.
Exactly.
Because obviously, if I'm going to be good for a position, obviously somebody's got interest.
You're gonna know by at least the first, if not second, interview. If if
like
you're
the
gonna
second
continue.
interview, they basically told me the exact same thing for the first interview. Like, I'll think about it. I'll contact some people. We'll go from there. All right, cool. The first interview, got another contact back. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to send you to another location. Okay.
Okay.
And then I get sent to that location, get another interview, nothing. I'm like, screw
So
you.
by the third, so after the third interview, they just didn't.
They
respond.
just didn't respond. And to be completely honest, the more I thought about it, and funny enough, after like 2 days after that interview, 2-3 days after, and them saying no, I got in contact with an old teacher of mine to apply to this place which I work now.
Where'd you work at now?
Which I gotta say is like perfect timing.
Oh,
like,
that's
that's
pretty
like
good.
Something like that in my eyes is not a coincidence.
Exactly,
Like, it was
yeah.
supposed to happen. Destiny,
Right,
as
yeah.
people say.
Destiny, or just God wanted you to work there.
Well, obviously, because clearly, it went from Firestone. Goodyear was full. Firestone technically said, I'm saying they said no because they never got in contact.
Yeah. Silent.
Honda.
Yeah.
I went to a Honda dealership, Honda Fishers. You know where that is?
Yes, I know
Okay.
where that is.
So it's one of the last family-owned businesses, and I've heard a lot of people. So there are actually people who, J. Everett Light, that automotive school, they actually went from there to Honda Fishers, and now they're master techs at that Honda
Nice.
dealership. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I went and talked to the service manager, told him I went to J. Everett Light, and he's like, oh, cool. We got 2 master techs back there
Nice.
that went there. I'm
What'd
like,
they
all right,
think?
cool. Sounds good. They were very interested. They wanted to hire me, but he gave me a warning, and I appreciate this. He gave me a warning like, hey, I really want to hire you, but there are 2 other applicants who are in front of you. So if one of them gets hired, I'm going to have to stand you down, which he told me that from the very beginning, which is nice. So you know what to
No,
expect.
they didn't. They told me that they had some other applicants, So I'm assuming that they said no to me because somebody else was just a better fit.
Maybe that's
Still would like to
that's-
know, but
yeah,
you know.
But I came back in a week later. I like coming in person because
Right.
they know what you look like.
Right,
You
yeah.
present yourself better in person.
Right.
And I asked to talk to the service manager, and he said, "Hey, I absolutely appreciate you coming in, but the guy right before you got hired. But he said, if anybody else fails out, somebody else gets fired, quits,
Yeah.
you'll be the first one I call."
Nice.
So they
That's
said
pretty
they
cool.
keep people's information who are fit
Mm-hmm.
to take a spot for 3 months. So if somebody leaves, which
Right.
is really smart,
Yeah.
because if somebody leaves, they can call them up and
Yeah.
have a really quick replacement.
So has it been 3 months since then?
Oh, it's been like almost a year.
Oh, right. Well,
So-
yeah, I guess.
But
Right, that's been a long time. I forget how much time has passed between you getting the job and now.
I've even talked to some people who work at that Honda dealership,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, the benefits are amazing. The managers there are fantastic. It's well run.
Nice.
It's a well run dealership.
So if for whatever reason you stopped working at the job you worked at now, would you like
I would probably go
reapply?
back there, but I would be way more available to not start at a loop tech, which is oil changes and tires, because they see I've had experience at another
Yeah, that
shop,
whole year's worth of
a
experience
whole
by
year
now. Yeah.
plus,
Plus, yeah.
and I go there
Good
and get
question.
hired. They're like, "Oh, you actually have experience in the field.
Exactly.
Cool."
Yay. So, thanks for your small talk. Braden, you want to tell us a little bit about how your week's been?
It's been good.
Nice.
Just school,
Yep,
Minecraft.
literally just school.
So your indoor soccer, has that started?
No, I'm not sure when that starts.
Oh, okay, that'll be good to know because that means that you'll be getting on whatever game even later when that
Yeah.
starts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving on from that, we move in to our topic of the evening.
Yes.
But first, a word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow. I'm kidding, that's not our sponsor.
Okay.
All right. Now that we're back from that sponsorship, editor me just put like this. Yeah. Editor me put like this video is sponsored by Great Value Great Blueberries or something. I don't.
Great value blueberries.
I just knocked a bunch of my freaking drinking bottles over here.
Yeah, just don't do that.
You know what? Anyway. So, as I said, interesting topic tonight. Tonight's topic: teachers, school, the horrible or absolutely epic stories related to bad or epic school experiences,
Just
bad or epic teachers, just school stories in general from now or way back. For us, it'll be way back because we're not in school, but Braden, you'll probably have some more relevant stories about bad school experiences. However, Braden, I would caution you to use made-up names, just
Yes.
in case, because
They might listen to the podcast
Exactly.
and be like,
What?
"Know where you live."
did you hear any of what we just said?
Mm-mm.
Oh dang! Well, you're getting banned from the podcast. No.
Wait, what'd you say?
Teachers and school stories.
Teachers and school stories is what the topic is.
Ah,
But I'd caution you to use fake names just in case.
mm-hmm.
There's a couple teachers I don't care about, so I'll use their real names. But
Larry. Okay.
No, there is a Larry teacher that I want to talk about. But
Red flag. I'm waving it over my head.
the flag of this teacher was so crimson that you could see it for miles. But I'll turn it over to you, Nathan, first. So tell us some either very epic or very horrible stories from a school or a specific teacher.
Okay, so here's one story. This is kind of like a question for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
What grade of school did you have your first girl like, ooh, I really like her, like massive crush, but she liked you back the same way?
Yes. I don't know, man. I don't have that experience. I'm kidding, but no. I don't freaking know what grade it was the
Okay.
first time I saw a girl and said, "I like you," and she said, "Me too." I don't
Okay,
remember.
so I could go on for a while, but I'm not going to. I'm going to
Okay.
give you the smaller story.
The Cliff
So
Notes. Yep.
there was one girl in 3rd grade
Third grade. Okay.
that I liked her,
Mhm.
but she liked me back.
So you liked each other.
But the unfortunate thing about 3rd
Mhm.
grade, it was the last year that I had in public school.
Right. Yeah.
So that was when I moved to Wisdom Builders.
Yeah.
It was Masters. No, it was Masters, but I had some Wisdom Builders before. Whatever.
Very
But-
complicated. Yeah.
Anyway, so we did like a lot of stuff at school together.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, most people won't believe this, but I was like the popular guy in the third grade class amongst all the girls.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Who'd have thunk? I was the guy that they stare at and be like, "Who
So
the frick?"
there were a lot of girls in that class, and I have to say,
Mhm.
I was invited to a birthday party for one of the girls, and it
Yeah.
was a whole girl's birthday party, and I was the only guy
You
there.
were the guy well, third grade. I was gonna say later, like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
That would
might
be
have
a
been
little awkward, but I thought, I enjoyed it. It was a birthday party. I got food. I got
Girls'
snacks.
birthday party, pink cakes and whatnot. But yeah, no, third grade is that's normal.
But then when I came, I had some kind of like fair or whatever. It was like project fair,
Right.
We always did those. And then that's when my mom saw that I wasn't happy there,
Uh-huh.
which, moms see a lot of stuff that we don't
Yeah.
bring up.
They also don't see a lot of things that we do bring up. You freaking
Oh.
moms. Okay, I'll stop.
But anyway, so when I got home, my mom was talking to me like, "Hey, I saw you weren't really happy. Is this like something you want to move forward? Do you want to be homeschooled like Brian was already?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I want to." Like, no hesitation, yes.
Nice.
Because in 3rd grade was the worst teacher I had.
Same here. My third grade year
All right, you get to
was
talk about 3rd grade.
awful.
Okay, so in 3rd grade, so I had a friend in 3rd grade who also had the name Nath.
Okay.
And apparently, I almost want to get in contact with him again because apparently he moved on and he's big in theater.
Oh.
He's been this close to getting to a lower production of Broadway.
Fun.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. So, yeah, I mean, that's cool. All the theater kids are kind of odd ones, I will say.
I've been in theater. I know what
Yeah,
theater kids
yeah.
act like.
Yeah.
They're always like super jumpy, super energetic.
Super jumpy, but also the biggest ego you've ever seen.
Some of them do have the biggest ego.
Yeah.
I will say, however, naughty.
I'm kidding. No. Yeah, no, I know exactly. We're going to talk about him in one of
Okay,
these episodes, too.
in theater is when he started to get his
Oh, yeah. Swagger.
how do I put this in a nice way? Cocky self.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm big puffer guy. He was good at theater. He was good at it, but
Not
he was
Broadway
always
good.
like trying to get everybody to like him. He would
Exactly.
that one kid, he doesn't necessarily bully people, but he's that big guy who like gets in conversations, try
Exactly.
to take him away from a conversation.
That one
do
guy that
stuff.
always makes the girls laugh at him
Yeah,
and always like try to
that
show
guy.
off and in
That guy.
front of the girls, and teacher's pet, I guess, is what you would call him.
I'm not saying he was bad in theater, but
He sucks. I'm kidding.
anyway, so not really that, but
Yeah.
in 3rd grade, I'm going to use my teachers, but I'm going to say
Okay.
Mrs. her last name.
Yeah.
Her name, just keep this in mind, this was her actual name.
Okay.
Mrs. Towel. Towel spelled as in like the towel you dry your hands with. Yes. TOWL. I
Bruh.
remember it very vividly
Bruh.
because so I was also
Wait,
really
how did you
dumb.
spell? How did you spell?
TOWL.
So not the towel you dry your hands with. That's
Okay.
TOWEL. but
Okay.
Okay.
TOWL.
So
That's
it's Tool.
Tool.
Miss Tool. Hey, yo, Miss Tool.
Anyway, so I was also really, really, really dumb. She had like a library.
That hasn't improved, Nathan.
She had like assortment of like library books, and I was reading. It was a Clifford book.
Yeah.
And I was reading it. I'm like,
oh man, that takes me back, Clifford.
Grammar error, and I read it like 1,000 times and couldn't get it right. So I'm like, I'm gonna fix it, and I go grab a Sharpie. Grab a Sharpie off her desk, fix it. She finds it and is like, who wrote this on here? And I was like, because, you know, little kids, they don't know what punishment's. Me.
Oops.
She's like, you're banned from the library.
Bruh.
Okay.
But still, was it actually a grammar error in the book?
I think there actually was.
Oh, okay. I've seen a few of those, but again, you're not the best judge of grammar.
I'm not.
Neither am I. I freaking talk like I'm drunk.
You just spelled towel wrong.
Well, I'm saying that's Towl. That's how her last name is spelled. So I didn't spell her last name wrong.
Yeah. You didn't spell her last name wrong.
I did.
It's just pronounced it like Twol. We'll call her Twol. So Miss Twol was the kind of teacher that just hated kids or something.
I think there was a lot of kids. Like, there were some days she'd come in, and so both two Nathans in the class, she'd be like, Nathan, go turn on the radio because lights are off.
Get up.
Study time. And we both say, which one?
Which one?
And she'd look at us, dead in the eye, look at both of us and be like, I don't care, one of you. I'm like,
bruh.
Okay.
She was not having it.
No, there were some days where she just went. Then there were some days where she would come in, she's all super happy and all that. I'm like, we don't want a teacher with mood swings, okay?
Exactly. She must have been pregnant or something.
Anyway, like, I really did not like her. And my mom didn't either. Mrs. Towel would, like... So I didn't know what the middle finger meant.
I have a story about that.
Okay, so anyway, I remember this so vividly. So at Smoky Row Elementary School.
Oh, I know that place, yeah.
They spelled Smoky wrong. They took the E out of it.
Smoker.
Yes. Or it was like, no, it's Smoke Eye.
What?
It's Smockey. That's how
Smoky is
hang on.
Smokey.
So no,
they took the Y away, or
they smoke.
They smoke weed every day. No.
so they took the E out
and just
in front of the Y. I think there was some kind of. And then they saw it and they're like,
"That's
leave it,
Smokewa."
But here's the funniest thing. I think they built the school to name the streets after it because they spelled Smoky Row Road wrong without the E. And I'm like,
no, Nathan, it's supposed to be spelled like this. It's like the Smoky Mountains.
Okay, actually. You're the actually guy.
Okay, I'm just telling you, you're wrong.
Actually.
But anyway, so we get out of the lunchroom. Big cafeteria area. I can actually remember what it was like. So there was one large hallway, the big cafeteria, huge cafeteria.
I've seen some cafeterias. Yeah.
We went in through cafeteria. After lunch is over, we come out. We all wait in line. We get a head count, make sure everybody's there. And I did my whole. I like making airplanes out of my hands because I thought it was cool because I was in third grade.
And autistic.
And I would point my fingers as to make a different shape.
But you used your middle finger.
I did this. I used my middle finger, and Mrs. Towel looks right at me, and she's like, "Hey,
what?
Come here."
Wait, Nathan, you did what?
I basically pointed my middle finger while I was flying my hand around.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, nobody had told me what the middle finger was.
Why are you turning over to the speaker?
Yes, that's the microphone.
Braden's voice is coming out of the speaker, and he's turning to the speaker like it's what he needs to be talking to.
Anyway, so I walk up, and she's like, "Are you aware what you did?"
No.
What do I do? You pointed up a certain finger that shouldn't be pointed up. What does it mean? Well, I'm not telling you. How am I supposed to know?
Tell them.
And then she gives me a pink slip to take home
I'm
and
gonna
said,
pink your
your
slip.
son pointed up his middle finger. And I got home. I'm like, Mom, what the heck does this mean? She looked at it and she's like, oh, I'll just sign it. Because she knew I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah. You now know what it means.
Yeah. She's like, so basically raising up your middle finger means the F word.
Did you know what the F word meant at that time?
No, I didn't.
So she just said the F word and you were like,
I was like,
what?
The F word. So, frick? Yeah, frick. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Frick me.
Whoa!
But anyway, so that was a big school story, and I remember it so vividly.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think there was another school story that I had.
Let me tell mine first
Okay.
while you think about that. So, third grade was an interesting one for me too, because third grade is when all of my developmental delays came to the forefront. So the autism, the ADHD, all that came, like, developed in third grade and were awful. They're not as bad now, but then I was the kid who couldn't sit still in school and was like looking around and
that
picking
was
my
me.
nose and flicking it at stuff. So it was awful. I was bouncing off the walls.
You were
read
Wisdom
words.
Builders at this point.
No. I was at it was in Connections Academy.
Oh, the like actual campus.
They don't have a campus. They're an online school. They
Oh.
tried to have a campus, which was called, not Fortune Academy, that's a different academy. It was called frickin' something. But no, so I went to Connections Academy the first year they existed. So my mother went to the courthouse. I remember I was like this small. I sat under her chair while she voiced and tried to get the government to allow charter schools, online charter schools, to come into the state because they had been allowed out west.
So your mom was
My
part
mom-
of the reason why Connections
Right.
Academy.
So
came
my
to
mom was
Indiana.
part of the legislative party that said we want more options than just public school for kids that wouldn't survive in a public school environment.
Because some public schools, they're
Yeah.
nasty.
Which is what, like Wisdom Builders could exist because they had a physical place to go.
They had a physical
but,
campus
like,
to meet at.
Exactly, which at that time was College Park Church, the upstairs classroom areas of College Park is where they started.
College Park
To where you went,
to
which is the
First Baptist.
Baptist, yeah.
Interesting. So that's interesting because then when Wisdom Builders moved, Master Study took their spot.
Yes, Master Study I think went to College Park. Anyway, College Park's a whole nother story for another time. But anyway, so I went first grade, wonderful, great. Second grade, the best teacher I've ever had, cared about her students. She
Which that's what a
loved her
teacher
students.
is.
She had like 15, maybe less students, not a big like 60 classroom full of students where you can't really care about each individual one. It's just a room that you have to teach to and hope they get it and fail them if they don't.
Yeah.
But no, much smaller, much more manageable. Third grade, we had this teacher called, I'm not kidding, you had Miss Towol, we had Mrs. McMahon. McMahon, like she was some McDonald's man, like McDonald's trademarked man, the McMahon. And frickin' Mrs. McMahon was from public school. She had worked at public school for 15 years.
That's already a red flag.
And was new to the whole virtual thing. So we had these things called live lessons, which was basically an early version of Teams. You go in, the teacher is on webcam, and the students are over to the side with like a chat screen, and we get to like, she gets to teach and stuff while we like ask questions and talk to each other and stuff like that. So, I freaking hated her so much that this is what she said in front of me and my mother. He is a terrible student. He will not go anywhere in life. Is what she said out loud to my mother and I when I was in third grade.
That wrong? No.
I was about to shut my fist up your no. So that's what she said. Like, I had severe dyslexia, so my eyes would flip words backwards and I would read them incorrectly. I stuttered, I read things slowly, I couldn't read well, and she hated that because she said I made her look bad as a teacher. And fricking was like, not only are you making me look bad, but you're so bad that you won't go anywhere in life because you're an awful student.
Okay, well, first of all, screw you.
Exactly. Do you know what she became?
What?
Vice principal of the high school at Connections Academy for like a couple of years. No idea how that happened, but she left the organization before I made it to high school.
To public school.
She probably went to frick all for all I care. But no, she was the vice principal of high school before I got into high school. She left before I came back. So I left Connections Academy in 3rd grade and went to Wisdom Builders 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then went back in 7th grade. We also did some K-12, which is another online school, for 7th grade. And then the rest of 7th and 8th, and then through high school, I went back to Connections. So, yeah, frick her. Frick Mrs. McMahon, and frickin' I hope she frickin' got fired and kicked out the building immediately. That's my story. Braden, you got any awful teacher stories you want to share?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually dealing with one right now.
Ooh, of course.
I'm gonna call her
Okay.
Mrs. Extra Chromosome.
Oh,
So
So
Mrs. Extra Chromosome.
So you're not down with this teacher?
No.
Okay,
No.
but she's down because she has got an extra chromosome. Anyway,
Yep. Mrs. Extra Chromosome literally does not know how to teach anything.
bruh.
The entire class is she talks about her personal life for 55 minutes, and then the last 5 minutes we get to work on a project that is worth 60 points.
Bruh.
Don't you love when that happens?
and
Bruh.
then-
I would take that up with the
And then,
school board.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't exactly about the teacher, but the other day, me and Evan were walking, and Evan pushed me into some lab supplies, and it spilled sand everywhere. Yeah, she got pretty mad. It was kind of funny.
You have weird classmates, I'll say that.
Nah, they're funny and cool.
And weird because you're freaking teenagers. Anyway, any other funny,
I don't know about that one.
any other weird,
Um,
stupid school stories you want to share?
I have this really fun memory. It was in 3rd grade. I
Okay.
honestly forget my teacher's name.
Okay.
But she had just gone through a breakup and she was crying and everything. And there was this one girl in my class who raised her hand because everyone was trying to comfort her. And then this one girl in my class raised her hand and she said, "Sucks to suck." And then the teacher just starts crying.
Oh, sucks to suck.
Okay, the unfortunate thing about younger kids is they don't know
They
the
don't have a
discipline
filter,
of saying something.
They don't have a filter. Up,
Exactly.
sucks to suck.
This was
I
in
guess.
like 3rd grade.
Sucks to suck, I guess, teacher. She just starts crying. That's hilarious. You said you had another story, Nathan?
So, the last day of 3rd
Oh,
grade.
wait, I'm not done yet.
Oh, frick
Oh.
you, Nathan.
Okay, so I have one similar to a Nathan's story
Okay.
about the middle finger.
Okay.
So I don't know what it means at this point.
Okay.
And I'm the bathroom. Okay, I don't know if your schools
What
did this,
grade
but
was
like
it? What grade was it?
this was like 2nd grade.
Oh,
Second, okay.
Okay, so I don't know if your schools does this, but like after lunch or whatever, or after recess, you would go to the bathrooms and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like a free bathroom break. And there would be some person that would stand there, like in between, looking at the line and looking at the people in the bathroom, and telling you if there's an open spot in the bathroom for you to go in.
Wait, hold on.
So
They
you
were
just hold up a finger.
Wait, they were looking at people in the bathroom? Is that what you said?
Yep, it's kind of weird.
Okay, wow.
And there would just be someone there holding up fingers for how many stalls were open and stuff, and
Did-
urinals. So one time that was my job, and I was bored at school,
Yeah.
bored and stuff. Had nothing else better to do, so I volunteered.
Uh-huh.
So I was just trying to mix it up a little bit, choose some different fingers to point with, and there was one urinal open, and guess what I did?
Middle finger.
Middle finger straight up.
Dang.
So, who
Yeah.
taught you then?
What happened?
Luckily the teacher wasn't looking, but like all my classmates starting to tell on me.
And you had no idea what it meant? Did they explain to you what it meant?
No.
So when did you finally figure out what it meant?
Oh, and then also, I think this was literally the recess before that. I was literally walking around with the middle finger up because someone told me it had meant something bad. But I didn't know.
When did you finally figure out what it meant?
I'm
assuming.
I think literally right after that happened, someone told me, one of my friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know. Like I don't think I ever used the middle finger until after I knew what it meant. It probably was after Markiplier. Whenever he got jump scared, he would just stick both the middle fingers up into
his protection shield.
Exactly. Like during the old. Have you seen his old Amnesia: The Dark Descent videos?
No.
Like his very old videos when he had no web camera and he was just playing the game. The first time he got a webcam, it was really grainy or whatever, and whenever he would hide in a cabinet and a monster would walk by, he would just sit there, both middle fingers up.
That makes me wonder if he did that when he didn't have his webcam.
But yeah, no, he ever since, like even into some of the FNAF games, whenever an animatronic would just run straight at him, he'd put the middle finger protection.
His face when he is about to get jump scared.
And just both middle fingers up. And so it became a thing. So that's when I figured out, oh. And I started doing the Mr. Bean thing where I sit in the car and
So one Christian comedian brought up the idea, it was a little side rant, but it's not very long.
Okay.
That why did we have to choose the poor middle finger to mean the F word? Like, what did the middle finger do? And I said that in response, not there, but I was like thinking out loud. I was like, because it looked at me.
Because it looked at me. Hey, I want to be used.
You know one thing? Here's one thing that nobody ever really realizes.
Yeah.
Is that the middle finger, when you point it straight up, it's always pointed at you.
Exactly.
So
unless you have a finger like this that points away from you. Look at that. I can bend my middle finger all the way up to the point where it bends. Yeah, see? You can't.
I can't do that. I can only bend it there. I can bend it straight up.
Wait, when you put your middle finger up, it points at you?
It does, yes. But...
No, it doesn't. It points up.
Okay, then I am the retarded one where my middle finger cannot go straight up.
Yeah, the muscles around his middle finger only have it so it's slanting just back towards his face.
So it's just like, frick you.
So he's basically fricking himself every time he puts it up.
Yes.
Anyway,
Wow.
not like that.
So, have you heard of the thing of like when you point at somebody, you always have four fingers pointed at you?
Boy.
Like, boy, you ever wonder why when somebody says boy, it's all five fingers?
Exactly. Boy, you know when you point at somebody, you have got four fingers pointing back. Boy. What the frick? He just puts all hands out. Boy. Anyway, yeah, I mean we're at almost 40 minutes here with this episode. So does anybody else have any last minute stories?
I think we need to do
or
a part
anything?
2 of this.
Like next week or like now?
Next week we need to do a part 2.
I don't have any other stories, I'm gonna be honest. So what would we do for part 2?
Okay, then we'll just do a side rant of like
side rant, yeah.
Okay.
So you got any other fun stories about school to share with us, Braden, before we pop off?
Nope.
Alrighty, you got any last minute things to say about?
Nope, I'll save it for side rant of next week.
Okay, I got nothing else. So thank you for joining us this week, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in next week. Bye.